From coast to coast, it's time to hear from the three guys who thought they had a chance to make it big. Welcome into the Coulda Been Great Show.
Welcome into the Coulda Been Great Show. We're back for another episode here with you on a beautiful weekend in the state of North Carolina. And we are excited to have you all join us as well as we get ready to talk about some of the biggest sports topics that the area has to offer, as well as, the entire country, because a lot of things are going on right now. Sports are back into the swing of things. Tanner Barth, as well as Scott Coulda and Mel Quitman here with you on a weekend. Your boy. Scott, how we doing, man?
Doing great. What's up with you guys?
Just another day in paradise.
Fantastic.
Living the life, baby.
Yo.
Hey, guys, and I know that this will probably be posted a little bit further in advance down the way, but we're here on a Sunday. It's All-Star Game Sunday for the NBA. So a lot to talk about with that, and some breaking news here within just, the last 4 or 5 hours that Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid were both going to have to miss the All-Star game because apparently they were in contact with a barber who got COVID. And so, we had talked about that, bringing people from all over the country and trying to make it happen and, as safely as and efficient as possible. And it didn't even get started and we already got problems.
I had to hit the laugh button on them on that one, y'all. Like this shit's crazy, man. Like of course it was gonna happen. It was bound to happen. You know what I mean? It sucks. It sucks for it that it had to happen that way with the barber catching up. Like that's kind of not their fault. You know what I mean? Of course they were gonna get a haircut. You know what I mean? For the All-Star
that fresh cut,
get fresh and crispy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it sucks that the barber had to cause him to do it, but you know what I mean? It's part of it, man. It was bound to happen. Sure.
I mean, my take on it is like, I guess that's great to be, at least they ponied up. I mean, can you keep something like that under wraps and still go on? Right. You got to be honest about it, right? Like if your barber has COVID, you can't take any type of, you can't take that risk, right? I mean, I guess that would be, silly. So it's a good thing. I'm sure they wanted to be in Atlanta, and I got people on my Facebook, they went down there. You know what I mean? So I've seen it on social media. They're traveling down there, partying and the whole thing. I think they didn't the mayor say, don't come down here?
He tried.
Like he tried, right? But that ain't stopping anybody.
Yeah.
So does that hurt? Is that Durant's team then?
I can't remember. Yes, I do. I don't think they were going to beat Team LeBron anyways, because Team LeBron is just absolutely stacked. But yeah, I think they were both on. Now that I think about it, they may have both been.
We're on Durant's team. Yeah, I do believe so.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it came so quick, man. I still think that they should rest some of those dudes. I don't think LeBron. I don't think LeBron should even be there, man. But he's the ambassador, right? So he's got to be there. But he's got a bum ankle. Like his boy AD needs to. He's obviously not doing anything, but they need to get healthy, man. I'm kind of pissed off about it. I need them boys to repeat. You know what I mean? I don't need LeBron down there running around on an ankle or something like that. I mean, come on, like what we got to protect.
Let the 25-year-olds do that.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, do you thanks, like a ceremoniously, like I'm gonna sit this one out, but I guess you just can't. It's such an honor, I'm sure, and you got to give the people what they want, right?
I guess.
Yeah. No, you guys mentioned it just a little bit. It is such a strange. I mean, every year during the All-Star break, you'll have players that are just like, whether they're actually hurt or not. This ankle's bothering me. Let's get me in a replacement. We've had quite a few replacements this season as well. But for like the guys like LeBron coming up in their mid-30s, this is their 15th All-Star game. You're just like, do we really need to see LeBron? But the fans, they want it. And they're the ones that vote him in, I guess. So.
Right. And because it's voted by the fans, of course, you know what I mean?
How you gonna not?
How can't you? Right? How can't you? Yeah. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun game either way. You know what I mean? Is it? Because how fun is it to see the celebrities? The dunk contest is about just as much as the dunks as it is seeing that lineup on the court.
True.
The reaction
of your celebrities.
Stuff,
you got like your A-listers, then you got like the dudes that are in the All-Star game, but they're not dunking. And you know what I mean? So like, I'm sure they're going to have the TV set up or whatever. I mean, I'm hoping it's not just an empty arena. They got to have like the TV set up like they did, like for the playoffs, right? They got to do something like that.
Yeah,
but,
I would think so. Are they are fans going to be?
No, they're not allowing anybody in. No.
Wow. That's
I thought that for a while they were thinking about it, but maybe Atlanta just shut it down.
I thought Silver said that there's not going to be anybody in the arena.
Yeah, wow, that would be really strange.
So what
on a fun note, talking about the dunk competition's all about energy and people getting hype and everything else. Yeah. But I was watching the 3-point. I watched a video of Steph warming up. You know how they have the 4 balls, and then they had the 5th ball that's the money ball in the 3-point contest. He didn't miss a single fucking shot all the way around the perimeter. Yeah. Just like doing a little practice run, and I'm just like, that's going to be fun to watch because usually it's not the stars that are doing the 3-point shooting contest and stuff like that. And, now you could have people out there and you're just like, we got the best players in the world actually doing this stuff now, but it'll lack the pizzazz, I guess, as people call it, of the normal All-Star game, but I'm still excited. I'll probably turn it on to TNT tonight, and those guys will be wild. And anytime you get Shaq and Kenny,
Shaq and Chuck, that's worth the price
of
admission, right?
Exactly.
Either way it goes.
They'll say something stupid for sure.
Hell yeah.
They like to call Shaq a casual basketball fan. He might be a little casual, like he don't know about how
he does everything now. Like he's dipping his.
He might not be there. He just got put through 2 tables in wrestling just this past week.
Was that for real?
Yes.
Is that really?
Yes.
I didn't click on. I'm like, man, that's bait right there. I'm not.
Oh no, he was in wrestling. He was in a wrestling match. Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. He was in a tag team wrestling match. Yeah, and he went through 2 tables. Yo.
Wow.
God,
it was great. It looked good too. It was good.
Now, could LeBron compete in the dunk contest?
I think he could.
Could he win a dunk?
I think so.
I'm gonna say
his head is still up by the rim when he dunks.
On an average year, no, but with like the shortened rosters they're running out there this year, maybe he might be able to. But
shit, I don't even think it matters. Man, his head is still at the rim when he dunks, Tanner.
But JR, some of these young kids, man, some of these guys coming out of college and like the young high flyers that like they can't shoot a basketball. All they do is dunk.
Yeah.
And they're gonna get out there and do some crazy. I don't know if LeBron is like doing a 360 between the legs, and
I bet he could.
It down. I'm not sure
he's still catching alley-oops like it ain't nothing. I mean, I just think it's amazing, man. When you think about like what Tom's doing, what Brady's doing, and then what this guy's doing still out there, like, it's, and I'm sitting here going, man, all right, I'm 40, like. What,
how old is LeBron right
I can't barely walk up the stairs, man. Like, how is this? What if you had to go play like a football game right now, man? Like, you strap it up, man. It is that would be so difficult. Obviously, like
what I could do, I could do like I could do some pass protection.
Right.
Sure, I could do a little bit of pass protection.
I'm gonna get in the way for a minute.
Yeah, I'll get in somebody's way for a little while, but they better get rid of that damn ball.
Yeah.
Get rid of the ball quick.
Look out block. Look out.
JR and I think I asked him about that a while back. I was just like, how many plays do you think you could put in right now? And he was like 1 or 2, but man, if somebody puts me on the ground or if they roll into a knee or a leg,
it's going to take me longer to get off the ground.
To get up, exactly.
To get up.
For sure. Like, man.
Right. I'm out of breath tying my shoes, man. Like,
for real.
If I train, like if I trained, for a few months or something, you might get me for a series.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it's crazy to think how much time. I don't know. You think about J.J. Watt, 10 years, defensive player of the year multiple times, gets a brand new contract, like a new 2-year deal, like, $30 million. And, just, I don't know, the amount that's the guys that are still playing and doing it well at a high level. But,
bro, that's who
they
you
were all
would be
talking
going
about
up
him.
Against.
What's
that's
that?
Who you were offensive tackle. That's who you would be going up against right now.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
No. You see dudes like
inside. I play guard. Look, think about Aaron Donald.
Right.
What?
No.
What?
Yeah.
Nah, bro. I'm good.
Look. here's what made me think about this. Did y'all see your boy up there, the Cleveland defensive end, playing the basketball clips of him?
Oh, Myles Garrett, yeah.
Myles, yeah.
He's such a good basketball player, too.
He was dunking so easily, though. So easily.
Nah, coach. No. That dude right there.
That's some different athleticism right there, ain't it?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure there's cats that, you know, like old guys, like, you know, that played back in the day. Yeah, man, I got that. Like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
That's a bad dude right there, man.
Yeah. But it's all about, I think it's just changed so much over time. Like, you know, going back, I know you guys are a little bit older than me, but, you know, going back watching players, they go into the locker room and they're drinking a Coke or whatever and smoking cigarettes. Drinking a beer. Yeah. Do you think LeBron or Tom or any of those guys would have ever had the longevity if they didn't just like completely change their entire like body and how they ate, how they worked out, and all like the different medical advancements?
Yeah. The nutrition, exactly. And things like that, the way that, you know, people shape their bodies and make, you know, because he's all about, like, what does he preach? Like the flexibility, not necessarily being strong, but like the flexibility in your
tendons. Take all the hits and
taking those hits and stuff like that. But no, and LeBron, you know, the pounding, you know, his knees. I felt when he was talking about he was walking out with, he didn't put ice bags or something on his feet. After he didn't ice down after the championship, he was like, "Man, my feet are on fire." That feeling is so real. If you don't ice like after a game, you are hurting. You are hurting like bad. So, you know, I'm sure he does everything he can to like just to get up the next day, and you hope that he does it because you want him to keep going. It's like don't skip that day, because you start skipping that day to get better, to work out or to train. That's when something's going to happen. You know what I mean? You gotta stay on that 24/7. You know. So, anyways, we're kind of bouncing around. What?
It's all good.
And you kind of got me a little bit closer to like, you know, our next topic. We're going to talk about the NFL draft coming up, and you know that longevity is the thing that, you know, scouts look at as well. When Scott, you were, you know, selected, had a chance to play in the NFL. You know, that's something they look at. And, you know, how exciting is it, the time of year is it for the NFL draft, not only for fans, but, you know, college football players that are, you know, one step closer to having a dream come true.
For sure. Right. I mean, this is like for most people, it's not really, I don't think it's really a reality until you start getting those calls from agents, or, you know, like they start grading you, and then it's like, oh, okay, like, all right, this is a possibility. Okay, let's go. I think the other thing that I like what they've done with it is they started free agency first. So they used to have the draft first.
Oh man.
And then free agency. Right. So then, you know, like why were they doing it all those years? You would get your draft and then all of a sudden here's your free agents. Like, no, let's let the players that are in it, let's let them get paid, and then we'll get this draft thing done. But yeah, definitely exciting. And I don't know, man. I see all these quarterbacks. They think all these QBs are going to get taken in the first 10 to 15. It scares me a little bit. Like I'm kind of like, man, there's so many teams out there that need a QB, but are they going to reach? And it's not like I've been, you know, I haven't been watching film on like the North Dakota guy, or is it North Dakota State, or why? I know they got a guy out there,
Trey Lance,
right? But there's always a guy somewhere that a team, you know, and it's so risky, right? I mean, I think
played one game this year. One game.
That's crazy.
He played one game, right?
Yeah, and because they didn't have a fall football season, so he played like a scrimmage exhibition game against Central Arkansas, and that was the only time they see him on film.
Yeah, and he's a prospect for the NFL.
Top 10,
crazy.
Top 10,
maybe top 5.
Yeah.
Like, so you're a general manager, and you got $1 billion franchise that you're in control of.
What do you do? And the thing is, if you don't pick him and he turns out being a gem, and great, and you passed up on it,
right?
How you gonna live that?
Like we're gonna take this we're gonna take this offensive lineman, or we're gonna take this DB or receiver.
Started 4 years or whatever over there.
Yeah, like that we know, but then you got this dude that's gonna be a 10-time Pro Bowler, maybe.
Right.
Yeah,
that's why some of those make hundreds of millions of dollars, just because they you know, they are asked.
Or he may go throw
that one person.
He may go throw the ball in the dirt, you know, the first not have any idea what's going on. So it's you know, the Justin Fields, I don't know, you know, how that's going to work. I mean, it seems like, you know, Ohio State gets these guys and they're really good in that system. And I'm not getting into any I'm not stepping into an area where we're talking about, like, you know, black quarterback, white quarterback system. I'm not stepping in that. I think they're smart guys. They can do it, but I think they're also very successful because of what Ohio State does, you know, for them. And it's a whole different game, even though the NFL game's changing a little bit with your RPOs and the quarterback with the legs. And I love what they're doing. I love what Lamar's doing and a lot of the athletic quarterbacks, I guess you could say. I'm like, Fields, if you're the Patriots.
Is it the system or is it him? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right. If you're the Patriots.
You that they haven't had Ohio State quarterbacks haven't had success in like the last 5 to 10 years.
Right. So what if you're trying to find Tom Brady's replacement? Is it going to be Justin Fields? You know, like they're I don't know.
It's tough. I mean, it's crazy because I almost want to say Bill can do it with anybody, but I don't know if I can say that because he had Tom Brady doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like how can you? That's tough.
I don't know.
I wouldn't want that job. I couldn't do it, man.
To me, it seems like if Russell Wilson I know Russell Wilson, you know, is out there, and he has the no trade clause and things like that. But are you not trying? If you're the Patriots, are you not trying to get that? Like you're trying to get
100%
somebody like that, right? That you got Super Bowls under your belt. You can bring him in, first class organization. You could probably lure him there. Now that Russell
I think the only reason we talked about his no trade clause is I don't think he would go to New England because they don't have any playmakers. I mean, they have, unless you can bring somebody.
You're almost back into a Seattle situation.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Exactly. And Seattle has much more
even worse
than that. Yeah,
maybe.
exactly.
Right.
I mean, like looking at the depth chart, looking at the depth chart for the Patriots last year, like their wide receiver number 1 was probably like 2 or 3 on an average team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have much to work with. And I think, Bill saw that. If he's going anywhere, if I'm Russ, I'm trying to land my butt in New Orleans. Yeah. Trying to join that squad and run things with
it's all set up for you, right? All you got to do is show up.
Yeah, but
I mean, shit, I wouldn't mind seeing that beautiful blue car on this helmet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he also
bring him down to Dallas with us, baby. Hey, let's go.
The Raiders. Yeah,
go. Could you imagine?
Why would Russell put that on his list? You're a Cowboys fan, Russ or JR?
100%. Yeah,
100%. So. But why is he on why are the Cowboys on that list, do you think? Like I don't
know why either.
Well, Amari Cooper, CD Lamb, and Michael Gallup, that's his 3 wide receivers right there. Zeke in the backfield, solid offensive line. They've come down a little bit. They've come down.
But hurt, definitely banged up last year.
100%.
Frederick,
but I think
gone.
they know they know the formula. You know what I mean? Right. They can rebuild the offensive line, I think.
And Jerry is going to spend money, right?
Jerry's going to spend that money.
Jerry's going to spend money, put the defense
$4 billion
back, put the defense
organization,
together.
100%. So why the fuck not?
Right.
Why wouldn't he go to Dallas?
Yeah.
But he also put the Raiders on his list.
Yeah, it was just awkward in Chicago. And I'm like, it was weird. I'm thinking if I'm him, it's LA. It's places that are warm, so like Dallas would make sense where they spend money. But Chicago,
I could see the Raiders.
Right.
Chicago, no, I'm not the Chicago, but the Raiders, I could see that for sure.
It was very
like marketing, obviously Vegas and Dallas. Yeah. You're gonna get paid off of just marketing, right? Being 100%. In that market. But Chicago, I don't know. It'll be interesting. How many quarterbacks you think there's gonna be a lot of movement? I know everybody's saying there's gonna be a lot of movement, right?
There's already been some movement. I think, like you said, it'll dictate how the draft kind of shakes out. And, whether we have that movement before or after the draft, will we have some teams decide that they want to jump ship on a veteran quarterback during, the season, and it changed who's drafting where and, who ends up going where, because, you mentioned somebody like, the Patriots, for example, does he want a steady quarterback that, has shown he can win some games? And does he flip a pick and somehow, get Derek Carr from the Raiders, something like that? Does that end up flipping the script and somehow they get Russell Wilson? Like, there's just so many variables, and you guys know how, how kind of that shakes out is it's a domino effect sometimes with teams going which way. But, we'll see how the free agency goes. And I think the draft, we still got about a month and a half, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of pretty talented players in the mix, no doubt.
Definitely.
For everything I see. Yeah, go ahead, JR.
No, my bad, man. But I was just saying, I just meant that wide receiver class is just stupid, man.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was great last year.
Devontae is just, I think Devontae, the way he moves, and he's so polished. Like he put his time in there. He's so polished, like his route running. Now he's got to get his weight up a little bit. He's
a little dude, isn't he? Yeah, he's a little.
He'll grow into that, but he's got long levers. He's got long legs and long arms.
So he'll definitely
he'll grow into that.
His frame can hold some more weight.
Yeah, I think so too, and they'll figure that out. The other thing I was about to say was I like it because it looks like that Oregon offensive tackle might drop down to the Bengals. So I'm like, if anything to get Burrow some protection, I'm
exactly.
I'm all in that. Dude needs as much help as he can get, to get protected. So
he's good too, man.
Take all the quarterbacks you want in the top 3 or 4. Let that monster come to us at 5.
That dude is incredible.
I'm trying to figure out what the Broncos. Obviously, I'm a Broncos fan, so I'm trying to figure out what they're going to do because they're kind of in that spot, the 6, 7, 8 range. And do they go with a quarterback? Or are they going to give Drew Lock another year and bring in like a veteran to compete with him? So they're in kind of that spot too. But also, we could use everybody can use a cornerback or a good linebacker. So I'll just kind of have to wait and see. You guys talking about Smith? I'm just looking at recent Alabama wide receivers, and obviously they've been great, and also they got Jalen Waddle as well, or Waddell, or however you say his last name. But watching Jerry Jeudy, I watched every Broncos game. I noticed that those Alabama young wide receivers coming out takes them a little while to get into the swing of things because they're not quite as open as they were at Alabama. They're especially Jeudy this year catching in traffic. He had a lot of issues with. And
early on he was dropping, right?
Yeah, I just think that's the speed of the game, maybe a little bit, and they're so used to catching the ball over the top and not coming through the middle of the defense. So it'll be interesting to see how he adjusts, but. He's definitely, you watch him, you're just like, man, this guy's going to be an instant pro day one type of thing. He's going to be an impact player.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, you could just out-athlete, at some point, your talent in college, right? You're just more talented. When you
NFL,
take that jump,
gets a little bit
everybody's just as fast. The schemes are a lot more complicated. The drops are not a physical thing for him. I'm sure it's more of just you're having to think, am I running the right? Am I breaking my stem off here? What is the quarterback seeing? Is he seeing the same thing I'm seeing? And then all of a sudden you turn and you're getting, whatever. But at the end of the year, I was happy. It looked like he was making some plays.
Yeah.
And, but definitely I think you're right? Like Julio like set the tone, right? Like he came in right away
and now everyone's expecting, they're going to come in, have 100 catches, couple 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's a learning curve, no doubt about it. But the future is definitely bright. You can't knock what Nick Saban's done. I mean, you get the best players, you generally win the most, and you send the most guys to the pros, and he does it year after year.
On that, for sure. Can't hate on that at all.
Nope. And I want to throw this out to you guys before I move on to our final topic here. I was looking, Mel Kiper has now been working at ESPN and doing draft boards. I'm sure you guys know who Mel Kiper is, for almost 40 years now. His highest ranked prospect ever in those 40 years. I'm going to give you guys a guess. Don't pull up ESPN. Don't do any of that.
All right.
Scott, we're going with you. Highest rated prospect that he has had in his 40 years. And this one caught me off guard a little bit.
Andrew Luck?
Nope, you're close though. I'll give you one more guess, and then we'll go to JR.
It's funny. Andrew was going to be one of mine also. So
yeah, I mean, everybody had him.
Yeah.
It's a quarterback, right?
I mean, you tell me.
Yeah,
it's definitely a quarterback.
it's gonna
John
piss
Elway?
me off. It's gonna piss me off when I hear the name, but I don't know. I'm it's probably not Andrew. I don't know who else.
What'd you say, JR?
Not Andrew Luck. John Elway.
John.
That's correct. John
Yeah.
Elway. I was gonna say another Stanford quarterback in there, but yeah. He had John Elway is the highest rated prospect he's seen in his 40+. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge Broncos fan, so I'm a John Elway guy, but I had no idea what he was like coming out of college. But apparently, he was all the hype.
He was the truth.
People, so.
Apparently, yeah. I mean, I didn't get it or whatever, but he was the truth.
They said his dad, Mel Kiper's dad, did that too, didn't he?
Who's that?
Mel Kiper's dad was a draft guy, wasn't he?
Yep. You're right. Yep.
And they said his dad was actually, the shit. That
really
that Junior is doesn't have the greatest reputation, but his dad was.
A lot of people don't like Mel Kiper Jr.
A lot of people don't.
Those draft people, you never know. Do you guys remember when somebody was? I can't remember when it was. Somebody had accused Mel Kiper of putting together what's the word I'm trying to say, deals with agents to try and hype up their prospect to get them drafted higher, and was handing money behind closed doors.
But damn, that's crazy.
It was one of those. I think it was Mel Kiper. They're all of a sudden this guy came up on his big board, and you're like, who the fuck is this guy type of thing. And it came people had started to say he was paid $25,000 to put him up in his board so he would get picked in the first round and get that extra signing bonus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's
no,
crazy.
I'm excited.
I like Todd McShay anyway. Todd McShay is my dude. I like Todd.
There's a lot. I mean, it's so tough every year to try and predict that because there's always those one or two picks you're just they picked who?
Yeah.
They did what?
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Like Mitch Trubisky. That pick threw me and JR off. I think we were both sitting at the TV station.
I think we were sitting what the what?
The Bears just took who? Trubisky.
Especially a Carolina guy. Get out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Nobody want to that weird ass blue.
Right. Let's get out of here with that powder blue shit.
Well, go ahead, Scott.
No, I'm right there with you. It's I think they're analyzing. Do they overanalyze it? Are they are you just trying to be witty, or do you want to find that one guy that's that's the Patriots went and saw, so-and-so. So now you got a scoop. It's these teams, they fly people out all the time to go look at somebody. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, and tough business to be in. But, some people are, if you can get paid,
it'd be fun business, no doubt.
Do a dance,
get paid to just talk about
the draft. Why not?
Sign me
up. Just like Joe Lunardi when it comes to bracketology. That's gonna be our next
come on, man.
It's you get to see the teams that are winning and pick a bracket, and millions and millions of people are watching your every move to see who you're gonna put in the bracket, and it's just I would love to be one of those guys someday.
No kidding. Right. Yeah.
And then once the season's over, you're just all right, I got a 3-month break, and then I'll get back to the grind.
And you start putting it together for next year. And I'm sure that there's a ton of work, obviously, that goes on behind the scenes. And you're watching a ton of film, and you got to know your stuff. But you were talking about. I love
that you brought up. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I love that you brought up about the story, because we always get one of those on draft night. This is the guy the Patriots went and saw. They worked out in his cattle, his backyard, and they saw, this guy has what it takes, and they're really, really happy with this pick. That just reminded me of you always get a couple of those, and I just love when that happens because he always gets really excited. Kuiper does, but then
there's
whatever he says on draft night, it's going to be listened to for if this guy turns into a star, you're going to be well, Kuiper called him a bust, on draft night or whatever.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a funny story. A buddy of mine, Justin Smith, who played DN for Cincinnati, played for the Niners for a little bit. Yeah. He's probably, if he goes to the 49ers earlier on in his career, he's probably a Hall of Fame player. I mean, he was just a complete animal, toughest dude. If there was a Twitter thing a few months back, and I follow, and there's a lot of different NFL dudes, and it's a lot of O-line. I feel like a lot of O-line because I used to coach O-line, and somebody started a thread, toughest lineman, right? Toughest D lineman. And he got mentioned, I'm talking about by like other NFL starters, that as being one of the toughest motherfuckers out there. Shit. To talk about the draft though, he was in college coming out, and the story that that Justin said is the Bengals sent down their D-line coach for like a little workout, right? And what was his name? It'll come to me after he played for the Bengals, broke his leg in one of the Super Bowls. Anyways, he walks in cowboy boots and jeans.
Yep.
And he wrestles Justin for like an hour. Like wrestled him.
Like mat drill wrestling, like
wrestling.
Oh yeah, like actual.
What?
That was like his little workout. He wanted.
That's how he tested. That's how he tested him.
My God.
Flew down, cowboy boots, jeans, like I'm sure some sort of like
straight up wrestling match.
Yeah,
wrestling.
Like they went at it for like an hour. He goes, all right, bloodied, like messed up, and then went back on the plane and went back home, and then they drafted him like with the number 4 pick over.
Oh my gosh, that's one of the greatest stories.
The dude was nuts, man. I can't. Man,
that's crazy.
Yeah, he was
awesome.
He was awesome. Yeah, so
wow. You gotta love the draft.
That was
those stories, though.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, let's move on to our next time. We got a little bit of time here before we got to jump off, but we're talking about draft, and a sport that a lot of kids get drafted and are expected to make a big impact right away is in college basketball, and we're getting ready to see them put on the biggest stage. The NCAA tournament starts. Selection Sunday is a week from today here on, March 7th or March 8th, whatever the heck day it is. I don't even know what day it is, but that's always an exciting time. Whether you follow teams regularly or not, there's a good chance that, a lot of people do their brackets, and it's a fun thing to watch this thing shake out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I might have watched a little bit of an NC State basketball game this season, but that's about it, man. But yeah, it's always fun. I'm gonna fill out a bracket either way, anyway. You know what I mean? I'll look into it a little bit. I'll probably fill out several brackets actually.
Yeah. I have no idea. I honestly have kind of no idea what's going on with it. I do know that like Duke, like your blue bloods are struggling. So, and I think that's good. I think that's cool for the sport. I'm kind of a closet like Duke basketball fan going back to like 1992 when, Woj used to like slap the court, and like Grant Hill and all that.
That fucking dude.
I know, man. But I'm not mad. Like, I'm not mad that they're down.
JR sounds mad.
What's that?
JR sounds like he's still
I hate Duke basketball. Look, I swear, I've always said this. If I ever meet Shane Battier or Trajan fucking Langdon, I hated that dude for some reason. The Alaskan assassin, blah, blah. Fuck out of here, bro. If I ever see one of them in the streets, I'm swinging on them. Just
swing. You going right at him?
Right at
him?
Oh, God.
Dane's probably like the nicest dude on the planet.
That's what I've heard. I've heard.
Like he gets along with like
everybody. The best dude ever, yeah.
Right.
But he was his deep man. I hate it. He was always just playing just great ass defense and just taking
charge. And could shoot a three.
Shoot, man, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Fuck basketball, yeah.
But I'm hoping for some reason, I'm hoping Coach K reevaluates. I know they like the one and dones. They're trying to just get magic in a bottle, right? Get that 1 year, get the chip, and then whatever happens. But it's just not sustainable. You got to like build that team.
Especially this year. Yeah, we're seeing it more and more this year that all the teams that were young this year have struggled. It's the teams that have the senior guards or the guys that have been there for 2 or 3 years. They're the ones having success. And maybe that's just because we're in a pandemic and, it has been a weird year. But, we're starting to see more and more of the teams that win are the people that, have been playing together for 3 or 4 years.
Right. And I think, Coach K, nothing against I think Kentucky did it. And then Coach K was like, man, all right, if they're doing it, I got to try to do it, right? Yeah. Instead of trying to develop.
Style,
Because he probably thinks, listen, these guys are probably going to leave anyways. I might as well try to get every top player I can get and try to catch, that one. But I just, I don't know, man. I like I guess I'm kind of a throwback when it comes to that. I like the senior leadership and all that, because
same here.
Those teams crumble, and I think,
if things don't start going their way, type thing.
Yeah. I mean, think about this. That Duke team almost got beat, and when they won it in 15, right? They almost got beat by a experienced Gordon. It was
Butler.
Gordon Haywood.
Butler.
Yep. That was about the greatest national championship game of all time.
Yeah, that game was incredible. I remember that game.
But there's no way that if you looked at the rosters that it should have been that way.
No.
Yep.
And
I think that's the reason America and so many people, like, even if their team isn't in it, that they love March Madness that much. Just because, there is always those upsets, and you start rooting for, like, a couple of years ago, Sister Jean and Loyola Chicago, they like made it to the Elite Eight or something.
Yeah, right.
She became like America's
he was a national treasure,
Yeah.
He became a national treasure, right?
I mean, and that's the type of stuff that, makes people fall in love with the tournament so much. And I think people missed last year is just those storylines of the small team coming from, the gym where they, only have one basket, or, there's always not like nowadays, you probably wouldn't have that, but that it's just, it kind of connects the country, and whether your team's in it or not, it's always fun, and you root for your bracket. And, I think it'll be good for people to have that back, even though it's going to be weird this year to play all the games in the Indianapolis area.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, bro. Either way.
I still don't understand how they're going to do that. But
me either. I guess we'll see in a week from today.
Find out,
right? Select the brackets and kind of figure out how it's going to look. So,
is it going to take a lot longer, or
nope, exact same format.
So they're just going to go boom, but like they're going to start at like 10 in the morning and probably just go.
So there's I think they said there's like 6 or 8 different sites within the Indianapolis metro area, and so they're going to play at like regionals, so like one high school. One of the colleges will have 8 teams will be there, and they'll play. So they would play like how is it generally, like a Tuesday, so a Monday, Tuesday, and then a Wednesday, Thursday, and then a Friday, Saturday, and then up until they get to the Final Four, and then they'll move to Lucas Oil Stadium, which would be a pretty cool site for the Final Four, the home of the Colts there. So. But no, I'm excited about it. Think it'll be fun. Like you said, we'll make brackets probably.
It's good to have things back in, whether good or bad. Sports is always going to be some sort of glue that kind of keeps it. I'm glad kids, and I know a lot of Division II and III footballs like being played right now, so that's good. And kids are just excited to be, back doing what they love, and it's a good thing, man. It's definitely
and
good.
And parents are glad to be back watching their kids play. Some parents, some kids, they live for that, just to watch their kid get out there and play the sport they love. And it definitely can change some people's mindsets on what's going on through kind of a depressing time. So
for sure.
Any final thoughts for you guys? Another good show in the books. Got a lot to talk about, and I'm sure we'll have even more next week for sure, or whenever we get back on here.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean,
hey, happy birthday to your little girl, Scott.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah, too much cake over here. So definitely hit the gym. Definitely time to go get in a sauna and hit the gym, I think.
There you go.
All right, I know you always got some shout outs, my man.
Check out some good wrestling this week. It's a good pay-per-view tonight, as a matter of fact. Check it out for sure.
Sounds good.
Like real quick, you're super into like wrestling? Is that it? Is it like local talent? You do national stuff? What is
both? It? Yeah, I like it both. I like independent wrestling, and I like the professional. All around,
Who's your guy? Like for the big stuff, the big show, not the big show,
dude right now. My dude right now. There's a couple.
All time.
Oh, Ric Flair.
No doubt. No doubt.
There it is, Tanner. 100%. Ric Flair, no doubt. Yeah.
How great was that documentary?
Come on, man. Come on. Too much.
How you could sit there, in a bar with him, and he would tell stories for days, right?
Days. I would love to do it.
I would love to do that shit with him.
All right, guys. We appreciate all of you jumping on here, and hopefully you'll join us in our coming shows, the coming weeks. We'll have lots to talk about. I appreciate all of you guys out there. Thanks for jumping on, Scott and JR, and another good week in the books, fellas.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
appreciate it. All right.
All right, JR. JR, let's wrap this thing up.